get to your purpose, you can only have two things. That's trust and that's faith in the Most High. That's it and that's all. Can't ask no questions. Just go with God's flow and trust in divine timing. Shit big. I want to officially welcome y'all to Shroom Talk Podcast, where everything's a vibe, but it's your job to catch it. Today, I'm here to tell y'all my story of how I got to Atlanta. I feel like this is one of the biggest significant parts of my journey and how I'm even able to be sitting where I'm sitting. I really don't even know how I want to start the story because it gets deep, which is why my first couple of episodes I want y'all to get to know me a little more deeper. My interview wasn't surface level, but this shit gets deeper. So I'm gonna start off with this story. God put it in my spirit to let y'all know how I got to Atlanta. I gotta go all the way back. Let me take y'all all the way back. Come on, just come on. Tune in. Hey, before we even start though, I need y'all to hit that subscribe button, turn your post notifications on, hit the like button. And if you didn't watch my interview yet, stop what you're doing, get out of this video, go back to the interview, watch that, then come back. I'm not playing. It got to go in that order. Simple. For the rest of the people that's tuned in, that's on time, I salute y'all. I appreciate y'all. And I thank everybody for tuning in and listening. Shit's about to get real. So let me tell y'all, right? All right, so I was living in Baltimore, kickback cooling. I'm hosting parties. I'm throwing my own parties. I'm on the radio. I'm on the block. Like, life is good. You know, I was working at Cashland. Shout out to Cashland, my man John Cash. I was working down on Pratt Street, and I was going to work every day. I was in the rat race. Yes, I was. Before we got here, I was in the rat race. And life was good. I was young. I was about 16, 17. I was making a lot of money for a 16-year-old at that time. I was in a good spotlight within being involved in my city's, outside life. And I can honestly say that I was comfortable. I was definitely comfortable. Every party that I threw was a banger. Every night that I hosted at the club, it was lit. Uh, every anything I was involved in, it was always just 10 out of 10. Chef's kiss. I couldn't complain. I was on the radio. Shout out to Brenny G. We had the Industry Weekly. We had rappers, artists. We had all type of people who tuned in every week. I had my own segment on the radio, and I remember waking up one night, and for some reason, God had put it on my spirit to move to Atlanta. Now, me being, I would say, 19 at the time, I was like, what you want me to do? You just want me to pack it up? Life is good right now. Like, we are living life every day, every night at the club. We're on the radio. I'm giving back to my city. I'm putting people on. I'm making money. I'm traveling. I'm 18 years old in Miami, Florida. Can't even rent a car. Like, renting scooters, driving to Ball Harbor, like Saks Fifth. Like, I was living life. I was good. I was comfortable. I want y'all to feel that word when I say that. I was comfortable. And God had put it on my spirit to move to Atlanta. I immediately told God no. Like, again, I am comfortable. Why would you want me to get up, one, leave my family, go somewhere where I am unknown, and then do what out there? With who? Cooked. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. So for like about a year went on, and it was funny because when I started traveling, the first place I went to was Miami. I didn't even go to Atlanta, so I never been to Atlanta, Georgia. So I didn't know why God was trying to push me to go. So for a year, I would say about for half a year, maybe 6, 7 months, I was just like, no, I'm cool right where I'm at. I'm comfortable. And I got a phone call one day from a radio station in Atlanta, Georgia. I can't make this shit up. Promise you. I wouldn't even do that if I tried. Um, and it was from B100 Radio. The owner of that at the time was Deborah Anthony, Waka Flocka's mom, and it was somebody that worked in the facility. And she said that she heard of me through social media, whatever. Now at the time, I'm only thinking I'm known or reaching certain levels within Baltimore and the DMV. So I just didn't know what she was talking about or how she actually knew me or knew about me. She basically told me like, I want to give you your own radio show once a week. Um, she laid out a dream for me. Like it was like a dream come true. Like I want you to move to Atlanta, submit your portfolio. I did that. She saw me with Carrie Hilson, Moneybag Yo, Kodak Black, these Yo Gotti. These are all the people that I have hosted for. Like events I've done. Just I was in the like spotlight. In Baltimore. Like if a celebrity was there, I was around, period. And she basically told me, like, submit my portfolio. Um, we want to give you your own show once a week. It was so many amenities coming in it, so many events she was telling me about that I would be involved in, so many people that I was going to meet. You know what I'm saying? And on top of, I had a lot of respect for Deborah Anthony. Just people from up north, we got a different demeanor that come with us. You know what I'm saying? I always respected the way she carried herself within the music industry and the outside world, period. So I was ecstatic to, I didn't meet her or talk to her, but I was ecstatic to be involved with something that her name was on. And I remember just telling my grandmother, like, this is it. Like, I'm out of here. Like, I remember going to the block, pulling up on my brother, like, bro, I'm about to dip. Like, I had like one last event with my DJ back in Baltimore. Shout out to DJ Chubbs. And we did one last event, and I had a going away party with my family. Like this, it was happening. Like it was happening for real. And I packed it up. I packed everything. I didn't leave a shoe. I didn't even know where I was about to live. I wound up renting out somebody's crib for like a month. I had like just enough. I had like $500. Like, and I remember my grandmother telling me like, when I get there, I'll send you another 500. So I'm thinking like, cool, like I'm gonna be good. I got somewhere to live. I'm about to get straight on the radio. My dream finna come true. You know what I'm saying? Dead ass, right? Dead ass. Check this out. I pack it up. I remember pulling up on the block. I told Chris, like, dummy, I'm gone, dummy. You feel me? Like my brother was ecstatic for me. Like, I just remember pulling up in my Chrysler 200 at the time, car packed. You know what I'm saying? Like, couldn't even see out the rear view. I mean, couldn't even see out the, like, back windshield. It was so much stuff in my car. And I drove to Atlanta, like, 12 hours. Like, didn't stop, didn't look back. I remember when I entered off of, what was that? It was 285, 85, whatever. When you get through going through downtown, and it was just like the city of Atlanta. The signs were saying Atlanta, and I was just like, damn, I'm here. You know what I'm saying? Like, God been told me I should do this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I quit cash land and all that. Like, you feel me? Like, it was just, I just left. I just left. And I remember I got to the crib where I rented out, unpacked my stuff, and I was just like, I was ready. I just was like, I'm about to step into my purpose. Yo, tell me why I called a lady the next morning, like, I'm ready. You feel me? I am ready to get to work. No answer. Dead ass. Not even playing. No answer. I'm talking like I'm calling back to back. I'm texting her. No answer. So you know me. I'm hungry for this. I'm not about to just, you not answering the phone for me after we just talked for 2 weeks. it's not okay with me. I'm pulling up. Are you cool? Like, yeah, I'm ready to crash out. Um, Pulled up to the studio to be 100, and there was nobody there. I'm not making this up. There was nobody there. Matter of fact, when I pulled up, there was a U-Haul truck there, and there were people coming in and out, like they were unloading the radio station, packing it up. And I remember talking to a guy at the time. I didn't know who he was, and he was like, "Yeah, like this closed right now. Like it's over with." Like, and I'm sitting there because I'm so like, this cannot be real. Like, this cannot be what's really going on right now. Like, I'm telling him, the lady, and it's funny because I can't even remember the lady's name, but I'm telling the guy outside, like, who I talked to, everything that, I, submitted to her within the last 2 weeks. Like, bro, listen, I'm sorry. Like, like, you can walk inside of there and see for yourself. This is cooked. This is over with right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, I want to speak to Deborah Annie. Where's she at? Like, where's Miss Deb? Like, you know what I'm saying? And the guy I was talking to wound up being her son, her oldest son. And he was just like, yeah, like, she's not here. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, and mind you, these people don't know who I am. They don't know who I am, why I'm here. Like, they don't know nothing that me and this lady discussed. There were no one in that studio besides me and her was aware of anything that I thought I had planned for me and my career. So I just remember like pulling off. I had wound up getting, her son's number and her grandson, my man Ethan. I met my man Ethan was there too. And I was just like devastated. I remember going back to the crib and I was just like, I'm ready to go back to Baltimore. Like, I'm not about to stay out here. You know what I'm saying? So I remember, like, back then I didn't have no faith. I'm going to be real with you. I didn't have no faith and I didn't know what God wanted me to do. But what I did know was I wasn't a quitter. And I took my lemons and I made lemonade. I decided to stay right where I was at. And I'm a hustler. Like, so I knew that I would figure it out. I had a little bit of bread. I mean, I had 500. Like, definitely didn't have the money for the rent to rent another month. So my first instinct was, I got to get a job, So, and that's what I did. It was like hustle or get a job. It was no opportunity for me to hustle because I didn't know anyone at the time. So I just had to get a job. I wound up making some phone calls to downtown locker room because, I've always been locked in with DTLR, and I wound up getting a job at South Lake Mall in downtown locker room. I worked there for like 2 months, and I was just like, this ain't it. Like, this is not it. Like, I'm cool. Like, the moral of this story is like, God will use any and everything to guide you to where he needs you to be. Okay? God knew when I got out here, he knew before I got out here that whatever was going on with that situation with that radio station, that was not about to be for me. But he used that because I told y'all a year ago when I was 19, in my soul, something told me to get up and move to Atlanta, and I didn't get up and move. I stayed there because, again, where I was at, I was comfortable. So now when I got to Atlanta, my plan was no longer my plan. It's now his plan. Now I'm uncomfortable. I don't know nobody out here. I can't hustle. I just left everything that I know. I just left a radio station that was up and running in Baltimore. I just left the club scene and the nightlife getting paid great money. I just left me and my DJ, my DJ depended on me to throw these bangers. I just left that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just left my family. I just left my entire life. Like, I don't even know how John Cashland survived without me. Now I ain't gonna hold y'all. You feel me? But like, I didn't know. I was just devastated, and I just at the time I didn't know that that was called surrendering. You know, I had to surrender to God's plan for me, and I was upset with God. I'm not gonna lie. Because I didn't understand. I was nowhere near where I am today, as spiritually inclined as I am. I wasn't, you know, I believe in God, of course, but I was not spiritual, you know, like I wasn't all the way tapped into him. I was nowhere near tapped in. But I was determined, you know, to make something shake, you know. I started just going to events, you know what I mean? Out here just showing up, you know, just trying to see like if I could connect with some DJs. I was looking forward to living my Baltimore life in Atlanta. And that was not God's plan for me. You know what I'm saying? I think that's where tapping into yourself and surrendering to God, that's where it starts. You have to surrender to his plan. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not your plan. Every time I plan something, it never goes as planned because I've already made my choice to surrender to God's plan for me, which is why I try my best. I try my best not to plan anything. You know, I meet him halfway with things. I'm gonna call who I need to call to put this into place, and I'm gonna do what I need to do to make sure this happens, or you know, we can start to make this happen. But after that, I'm gonna let go and I'm gonna let God because I chose to surrender. So I feel like when you surrender to God, you're not gonna question him neither. Because let me tell you, when I was in Atlanta and I found out that the radio station was no longer, you know, up and running, I had so many questions. Why would you bring me all the way down here? Why would you make me leave my family? Why would you make me leave everything that was going good for me? Why would you make me leave my comfortability? That was my biggest question to him. You know, but when I surrendered, I stopped asking questions because one, he not gonna answer them. So he gonna answer him when he want to answer him. So I just feel like that's when you know when you fully surrender to God because you're not gonna question him. You're gonna take what comes with life, whether it's good, whether it's bad, whether you need to learn something, whether you need to sit still, whether you need to keep going, whether you need to meet him halfway. Like, you know, you just take it as it comes. There's no questioning him anymore. And don't get me wrong, I haven't mastered it because I still sometimes have that parasite in my mind where it's like, why, you know? But I try to shut it down as soon as it pops up in my mind because I'm at a place in my life and I'm at a place in my spiritual journey where there's no more whys. This is happening, and it's happening because of this. Now, the happening because of this will eventually reveal itself throughout time. You know, so that's another thing that you have to practice with with surrendering to God's plans. It comes with patience and it comes with discipline. So just like even being here today, I turned 28 in 3 days. I'm supposed to be in Bali right now. Just want to let y'all know that. Feet kicked up, coconut, food, ocean vibes. But I'm right here because God has a timeline for me in this podcast that I cannot see. And I don't question him about when am I going to go viral? When is it going to pick back up? When am I going to? I chose to surrender, step into my purpose, and be patient and stay still when I need to stay still and work when I need to work. I took a shroom trip and God told me you need to cancel that Bali flight. One thing about when you surrender to God too, and his plan is he don't really tell you no. He gonna tell you no. If it's a no, he gonna remove it out your life. He gonna remove it so far that you're not even gonna think about why it's gone. You know what I mean? You're not even gonna realize that it's gone because that's how much it didn't need to be here in your life. So God really don't tell me no. He just tells me not right now. You know, I get a lot of not right nows. And I be feeling some type of way, but you know, that's me and his relationship. He know I'm impatient and I'm working on it. But yeah, so I took my shroom trip and he told me to cancel my flight to Bali because again, it's just not right now. And I was like, okay, well, what do you want me to do? Like, how am I supposed to celebrate my birthday if I'm not in Bali? Because I want to go to Bali. Hello. And that's when the first episode kind of just aligned and fell into my soul. It's people think that this journey to get on this stage and talk in front of these cameras was just easy. I went through so much from the age of, I moved here when I was 20. I moved here when I was 19. No, I moved here when I was 20. I was 20. And I turned 21 here, right? So between the ages of 20 and 28, that's coming up, God willing, and thank you in advance for 20 great. But I've been through so much, and I've been through so much, and I had to go through it to even be able to do what I'm doing now, you know? Because my goal here for this podcast is really to awaken these lost souls for real. Like, it breaks my heart just to be around so many people in this generation that are just cooked. The definition of cooked, okay? Let me put it to y'all like this. You just not in tune. You just really not here. You just don't get it. You also just being cooked means you have no awareness. Okay? You don't know yourself. You don't know God. You don't even realize that you are a form of God. You and it don't take even to be so spiritual. It just really takes for you to be aware, So when I say the word cooked, because I'm going to say that a lot on this podcast, like that's my word for everything. Like I may be talking to somebody and they just be here and I'm so here, I don't even say nothing. Because in my mind, I just know, unfortunately, that person's cooked. Like, and it's going to take them to get uncooked. Nobody can uncook themselves but you. You have to do the work. You have to put in the inner work. You have to take the time to know yourself. You got to take the time to love yourself. You got to take the time to whoever you believe in, whoever your most high is, you got to know that you are a form of them. You got to know that you have a purpose. Everyone is not chosen, but everyone has a God-given gift. Steve Harvey taught me that. Shout out to him. He gonna be my mentor. But everybody has a purpose and everybody has a God-given gift. And I feel like, in this generation that we live in, everybody is so stuck on following the trends. People follow trends so far that they don't even realize they're going so far away from their authentic selves. You know what I'm saying? Like people are just so like everybody want to be like everybody else and I just don't understand why. Like I feel like being your most authentic self is what makes you not cooked. You get what I'm saying? Like it was a vibe. You had to catch it. So yeah, when I say the word cooked, that's what I'm talking about. I was cooked too, though. Don't get it fucked up. I was super cooked, okay? Like, I wasn't even smoking weed no more. The weed was smoking me. Like, I wasn't even drinking liquor no more. The liquor was drinking me. Like, I was outside from 21 to 25. What that is, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26 too. Yeah, I'm gonna throw 26 in there. I ain't gonna lie. 5 years. 5 years straight cooked. Talking about me, baby honcho, the only said Sydney was cooked. I was outside every night. Every night. I'm talking about as soon as I quit my job at Downtown Locker Room at South Lake Mall, I moved to the east side. I moved to the east side and I met my goddaughter's mother, Jada. And I'm not gonna lie, as soon as we met, we clicked. And we've been cooked ever since. Like, not in a bad way because we was young. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was the time to be alive. I was just out every night, smoking weed, drinking, partying. It was nothing else to do. Um, and as the years progressed, the more money I made, the more cooked I began to get. The pandemic happened. I don't know about y'all, but for me, it was the pandemic. You heard me? You feel what I'm saying? Cooked the whole time. Like, you feel me? Like soon as I got the money, cooked it. Like, you feel me? Didn't do nothing that was gonna benefit or change my life in any type of way. Um, I was in different relationships, cooked with all them females. But God was letting me, he was letting me have my fun. God wasn't even bothering me. Like, he really wasn't. Like, he was making sure my bills got paid. He was making sure I had something to eat. He was making sure he was supplying me with everything I needed to be cooked. Because what did I say before, 5 minutes ago? It starts with you to get uncooked. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not even gonna say God was supplying, because God was supplying me financially and physically, you know, with stability. But the devil was handing out trays of cookness. You feel me? He was like, "Yep, this club just opened up. We got 250 bottles of Don Julio over here. Like, we got celebrities over here that want to link with you." You know what I'm saying? Let me tell you, the shrooms was nowhere in my life. Okay, the shrooms came and saved me. They came and wrapped their hands around me and took me from the cookness, because the devil was out here like, got this new pack of weed for you right here. You feel me? You won't fuck with that. You know what I'm saying? He was just, I'll even change liquors. I used to be a big Henny drinker. And I was like, yeah, my brother Chris wanted me to get off the Henny so bad. He didn't like who I was on the Henny. You know what I'm saying? Even though he used to drink the Henny with me. Okay, cool. Now, you know, he on a different level of cookness. He start going Don Julio. I'm not gonna lie. When we got on that Don Julio, let me tell you something. We acted a Julio. We was on, I felt like I upgraded my cookness. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't even ghetto cook no more. Like, I'm classy cook. Give me Don Julio. Like, you feel me? Like, that's how cooked I was. I thought the cookness, I was I was getting luxury cook now. I'm on yachts and shit with the Don Julio and shit. Man, get the fuck out of here, bro. Like, I was cooked. I'm not gonna lie. I know a lot of y'all gonna start using that word, and I love it. You know what I'm saying? Just don't forget where you got it from. Period. But yeah, like, the shrooms came into my life at like 25. Nah, I'm gonna say 24. It was definitely 24. Yeah, about like 4 years ago. But I was so cooked. I wasn't really seeing what they was doing for me. I wasn't really tapped into it yet. I think like around the end of 25, I started taking a lot of shrooms because at that point I was burnt. Like, I was tired. I didn't want to go outside no more. Like, God started financially separating me from what I was used to. So it was no more money to go outside. One thing about it though, even though I was cooked, all my priorities was in place. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of y'all be overly cooked, priorities fucked up, but my priorities was in place for sure. My bills was always paid, thank God, and I was able to take care of me and my family. So when God needed me to get His attention, He kind of removed the extra finances that I was using to party with and go outside with and just do a bunch of cooked activities with. So I was forced to kind of sit in the house, like, cause I'm not the type that's not gonna pay my rent so I can go outside. That's crazy work. Hello. Um, so it was just at that point, it was me and the shrooms. It was just me and the shrooms, and my neighbor next door, my brother G, like, shit, he was burnt too. We ain't had nothing else to do. So every night we was just like getting on the shrooms, like, we like, yo, we gonna take more. We gonna take more tomorrow. Like, you know what I mean? Like, okay, cool. We see what this did. Tomorrow we gonna take this much. You know what I'm saying? We was just going through our phases. And like I said in my interview, like, light bulbs just started coming on. You know what I'm saying? I started seeing life for it, like, from a different perspective. And I was just like, yeah, this ain't it. Like, I don't want to be cooked no more. Like, I'm good. Like, and I just started kind of like tapping into myself. So which brought me the more I tapped into myself, the more it brought me closer to God. Um, and the more things, different doors started opening that I wasn't used to. So, with that being said, I would say like that's where it starts. Like, it's not no rules and it's not no specific like order you have to go in with getting in tune with yourself. But I do know that the first thing and the most important thing is to surrender to God. Surrender to God and His plan. Once you do that, start with you. You know, remove all the distractions, remove all the cooked activities, removed because it don't take for you to be on shrooms to do this. That was my journey. That's what worked for me. Don't do what worked for me. Figure out what works for you and surrender to God. Remember, once you surrender to Him, there's no more questions. And go on your own journey. Y'all stay tuned for episode 2 because I really got a lot more to say, but my cameraman said we got to wrap up, so I'm out of here. You hear me? It was a vibe. I hope you caught it.